This podcast is brought to you by Extreme Media.
Extreme Media?
Just press play.
Here's the show that loves to talk about gadgets and gizmos, from A-Logic to Yamaha, cameras to control panels. You get what I mean. We love talking all things techie. In fact, that's the name of the show. And here is your host, Justin Dawson.
Yes, indeed. Episode 128 of the All Things TechIE Podcast. My name is Justin Dawson. This show was recorded over in Amsterdam at IBC 2025 with our sponsors Storage J and PTZ Optics, where Tim Albright and myself sat on the couch and discussed everything broadcasting and tech. Well, it's been a long day. It's day 2 of IBC 2025. It's the All Things TechIE Podcast. We found the podcasting studio in Hall 14. Joining me, the one and only Tim Albright. Tim, I think you're feeling as tired as me.
I'm getting there, yeah.
Yeah. Like I think we're ready for our beds now at this stage. Yeah, you flew in on Thursday as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you're doing a bit of a tour as well from here to London. Afterwards. Yeah.
I'll spend a week in not quite a week in London as well, hanging out with some folks and doing some things, but. Yeah, it's been this is a neat show. I've never been to IBC.
No, me neither. So we're both virgins to IBC. But how many years has it been since you've been back in the maze that is the Rye?
5 years. It was
just before COVID.
IBC 2020. Well, it was in the middle, the very beginning of COVID, because that show was down because of COVID. It was because of the threat, right? You had a couple of manufacturers, especially in the APAC region, pull out. And it was also the year of that crazy North Atlantic storm.
That's right.
That grounded so many flights coming, even from the UK, to Amsterdam. And so, it was a weird year anyway.
Yeah. And for me, it's 2018 since I've been back here in the Rye. And it hasn't changed of the maze that is.
Well, it hasn't. And you and I are sitting in Hall 14.
Yeah.
When ISE was here, this was a temporary structure.
That's right.
This was a temporary structure that Mr. Blackman had them put up every year, and the Rye has said, well, that makes sense, and this looks, at least to me, more permanent.
Yeah. The only thing that has improved is the transport to the Rye, I believe. Way back when, I remember you had to get your train ticket. And you even mentioned it to me earlier, that the train wasn't exactly here at the Rye. It was further down. Yeah. And you had to have change. It wasn't a tap-it device, and interlocking gates. So a couple of times I got stranded and going, okay, I either walk or I get a taxi in about 3 hours time when the crowd has calmed down. Yeah.
The public transportation here is really, really good in general. I've not spent a lot of time in Europe, but there are a handful of cities, and that tapless pay thing has certainly caught on, not only here but also in London, and I know in Barcelona as well.
So your first IBC, how much stuff have you seen, and what have you enjoyed?
Oh Lord, I've seen an awful lot, and there's a couple things that threads is the best way to put that. Number one is the leveraging of the Unreal Engine in live production, in live environments, I should say. And that means certainly on-air production, but also in, let's say, live conferencing, live presentations.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? And there's a number of solutions for that. The other part, though, is this overlap of broadcast technology and AV technology. And a couple of days ago, I would have said, oh, it's where the broadcast stuff is kind of coming over and being leveraged in the traditional commercial AV space. Well, there's a couple of areas where the professional AV space has actually developed products that the broadcast folks are starting to use now.
And I love it, guys, that he hasn't mentioned the word IT yet, but I'm going to go down that rabbit hole in a couple of minutes' time.
Oh, it's there. I mean,
it is already there.
Yeah.
We joked about it. We were at one of the manufacturers that are creating a new type of microphone, for broadcast, and you go, they spent a good half hour of their presentation talking about IT and remote access.
Yeah.
So when are we going to be called, the broadcaster going to be called the IT technician still?
No, that's a good question.
Don't go there. Yeah, but
But I mean, it's I don't know that you've got you have certain aspects that it lives on the network, right? The transports, the signals are being put on the network, and that means that the people responsible for those signals have got to have a knowledge base and some amount of IT chops. Now, does that mean that it's IT? I don't know, right? I mean, if
it's like playing on the other great words that's coming out of this whole conference, which is AI.
Yeah.
But, however, I believe from being back at Infocom and ISE and the play on words with AI and what AI means in the broadcast realm is so much more evident. Because, like, some of the booths that has really caught my attention is the closed captioning.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible, because I even played around with standing at one booth. A guy was talking on the microphone. There was people coming up not believing that and thinking that the AI has been generative AI to his voice. And then he handed the microphone to me and asked me to speak Oscailga in Irish. I have cúpla focal Oscailga.
I'm sorry, what? Irish isn't English?
No.
Okay. I've learned something new today.
Yeah, so I spoke a couple of Irish words. The couple that I remember from my days in primary school when I was like 5 or 6 years of age, and like it's like Latin. I'm learning it again through my daughter, who's 5 years of age.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I was like, Daddy, what's the word for tree? Let me look that up on Google. But it was instantaneous, and that's what that was so impressive. And it was text, but if you connected a Bluetooth headset to it, you were able to get the full transcription.
The audio transcription.
Yeah. So take that away from broadcast. That is, like, in my realm, accessibility and AV.
It is.
It is total accessibility.
So here's the thing, and I don't know non-U.S. regulations. In the States, there are regulations for hearing impaired and people who just simply can't hear at all.
The ADA is so much better over in America.
That's very nice. I really didn't know whether or not it was, because we do screw up some things from time pretty often. And one of those things is you have to, if your theater, if your space has the capacity for X number of people, you have to have a certain percentage of that capacity in hearing assisted technology.
Nice.
Right.
Okay.
There's a number of folks, that do that. The one that I have worked with a lot is Listen Technologies.
Yes.
And on a commercial for them, that's who I've had most of my relationship
But
with.
they've done a lot of R&D.
They have.
Yeah.
And think about this. Not only have they developed a number of things, including having the belt packs, but also they have an app now so you can leverage your own listening device and stuff like that. But imagine if a company like that put in not only listening assist systems, but instant translation systems,
absolutely.
right? So now it doesn't matter, what you speak or what they are. It's a personalized accessibility.
And the point is that you don't have to identify.
Yeah.
Like, you could have this in your own Bluetooth headset, which and it just shows how much the broadcasting, going back to on your point, the broadcasting, the AV, and the IT are all merging, all combining. People are using this term AI to cover the whole lot of it, but it is just totally coming all together in one set piece. The other areas that I've loved, and the fact that we are in Hall 14, is this Accelerator Zone, and seeing, like, I remember interviewing you way back when, as sort of this is your life of Tim Albright, and you mentioned that, like, your background way back when was in media.
Yeah.
Like, how much would we have loved if these type of accelerator programs was there when we were in university?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Like I was talking about seeing one there that was done on sports, and it's better than the VR, the virtual referee of the Premiership football, because you are actually marking the players. You can tap a player, you can see all the results, and then we have the AI telling you about it. You can then look at the corners it's taken, the the players' accuracy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, as well in this whole, it's the Google doing several different things between their penalty shootouts. You didn't try that?
I did not.
No, you
I don't have the shoes for it.
Oh, right. That's well, do you know what? My excuse was like that, like I haven't played football in years, but like
I haven't either.
I still got 80%, and they give you a little scorecard,
Very nice.
a game card to that printed out, and then over in the other corner is the Formula One.
Yeah.
So would you do Formula One, or you don't have the shoes for that either?
I would do Formula One. I don't know that they would let me. That's the thing. It doesn't. You actually get to drive it though, right?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, you get to drive it?
No, I haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it tomorrow.
Let's
Yeah.
But here, back to the accelerator part. Any sort of conference that has, and Infocom has done this, ISE has done this, CEDIA has done this in the States as well. But you give folks who have an idea a little bit of space to show it off,
Yes.
to get market feedback from the folks that would actually potentially use it. But that is not just a benefit to them, it's a benefit to the industry.
It totally is a benefit to
Right?
the industry. You know, like the amount of different TV companies that are involved in some of these accelerator programs. And, you know, like, I still say that if a university got involved in it, that's a PhD project right there. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like, back in our days, it was just literally splicing tape. Yeah, we're showing our age now.
Oh, cutting tape.
Cutting tape, yeah. But even talking about cutting tape, like even going over to the Adobe booths and seeing some of the editing software.
Adobe and the Avid one is just down the hall from them. Yep.
It's like it really has got to, like, you sometimes say about the ethics that's involved in some of this generative AI and AI making these video clips versus the fact of getting your graphic designer to do it.
Yeah. There is something I learned about yesterday, and I have my notes over there in my bag as well. I apologize. It's a digital marker. It's a digital watermark. It was for Sony. It was Sony. Like the CCP something, the C squared or C cubed. Anyway, it's an authenticity of video, captured video, and what people are using it for is verifying that it is not AI generated.
Right.
Like, yes, I actually shot this. Once you encode it, or if you shoot on a device that is already digitally recording it, from that inception all the way through to broadcast, you can check and make sure that was not AI generated. That was actually this is I actually recorded this, and this is all the places it's been used. Yeah,
and you know what? Like, the scary thing is you have to try and do the same. And how do you do it for audio?
Yeah.
And like I say, audio is the most difficult thing now that's going to happen with.
There will be a way, because there's already metadata inside audio, right? You can make it, right? You don't have to put it there, and that's in essence what this thing is. It's a digital watermark in the metadata in your video file. Same thing you could do inside audio.
Yes. Well, some of the absolute bookmarking and the metadata that's coming out with AI is incredible, because even that penalty shootout. Yeah. I know I keep on going back to it, but like, it's the fact that you took the penalty shootout. They were using only a couple of iPhones around that small little room, but like the positioning and everything, it's coming out with a script to tell you how well you stood, the speed of the ball, and everything. That usually would have taken a hell of a lot more technology to do these types of things.
Yeah.
The other accelerator program that I've seen was the fact of, like, your control rooms are definitely going to, now we know that with equipment, but it's definitely getting more smaller and more compact as they put everything onto the cloud.
You mean the rack rooms and stuff like? Yes, absolutely. And there are aspects to this, and there's caveats, right? If you get into government, that is less and less.
Yes.
Especially again, I know more on the U.S. side. The U.S. government, specifically the Department of Defense or State Department, they are more concerned with security, and so they are less likely to put things on the cloud. If they do, is a highly secure environment.
Yeah.
But in general, yes, whether it's a hospital or it's a local municipality, power company, right? These folks who all have these big control rooms, the equipment themselves, the thing that are running the connections are certainly going to the cloud.
Yeah, and but it gives the ease, and I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here of going throughout the day. A good few people have said to me, "There's not enough." Now we talk all the time about women in AV. There's not enough women in the broadcast tech. And yes, we'll have our presenters and our producers, and I've seen that through the years of working in radio and media, but there's not as many in the actual technical end of things. And it really hasn't improved yet, but I think with the technology changing, there's going to be more people interested in this area.
I would say I have no idea what the numbers are, right?
Neither do I.
Personal observation. It feels like there is roughly the same percentage of women here at IBC that has been at Infocom or ISE.
Yeah. And well, hopefully with the types of content that is being created and also these type of research projects, it gives the layer for people to come in and experience it. Did you have a look at the plane?
I did. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it actually was I found out earlier on. It's a 5G signal that was used by a university that flew over, I think, a sporting stadium that created their own 5G network.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, that could be done with a drone as well, couldn't it?
It could totally be done
Yeah.
instead of a biplane.
Yeah. I don't know who gave them the plane, but that's what's on the postcard. Yeah. You have a couple of days left, and as I keep on saying, the RAI and the maze that is, and the numbering system, no offense to IBC in any way, shape or form, it's just the numbering system of this venue.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have missed that you're trying to catch up on tomorrow before it all ends?
There are things that I'm going back to.
Yes.
Let's start there. I was not able to spend as much time. The person I was trying to connect with wasn't there, or one commitment ran over, and I missed my opportunity. Right. So that's that thing. I am going to go down though, and there's a couple folks that I've talked to already, and that is the leveraging the Unreal Engine for these virtual productions, for this augmented reality production. And there are some of them that have tried to make differentiators. We do it this way. Oh, we do this. We leverage that. And I want to pull on that thread and say, okay, what exactly are the differentiators here? Because if there's 5 of you that are doing it, that are leveraging that technology, what makes you different?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What makes you different, and what makes you more expensive, less expensive, more more ideal for this situation or that situation? So that's one thing. The other thing is I need to go back, and there's a couple of direct view LED folks that are doing some really interesting things with live broadcast and leveraging direct view LED as a background.
Yes.
And
we've seen a couple of things like that in previous trade shows and stuff. But I always think we are getting to the stage where you do not need a green screen at all. Yeah. And that's
you don't need a green screen if you have enough money.
Yeah.
And I will say that part, because to do a DV LED, yes, the DV LED part is expensive. That's not the part that I'm talking about, though. It's the software.
Yes.
Right? It's the technology behind it that can get very pricey.
So would you change your whole AV Nation backdrop to one of these virtual studios?
I would do it. It would take a minute, right? Because we do have a DV LED from our friends at Epson. It is not big enough to do a complete virtual studio, because I would have to. It doesn't quite go floor to ceiling. Our ceilings, because we are in an actual TV studio now. It is 10 feet tall. Yeah. Right. The wall itself, up to the ceiling. And I think our DV LED is about 6 foot tall right now. Okay. So we'd have to expand it, but I would totally do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that basis, then you probably would bring in a lot more panel discussions.
Well, certainly, right? Yeah. And our producer, Mitchell, would have a lot more work to do.
Yeah. You do leave it all up to me.
I do, 100%.
Yeah, like for me, walking around, because it's me with my own equipment
Yep.
and I don't have someone walking around with me, I'm always looking at the little gadgets that I can hang off and use and little accessories for my kit.
Yeah.
Do you ever go down those
Absolutely.
sides? And yeah.
So there's a lot of shows, especially if I've never been to them before, and I'm going as let's say a fact-finding mission. This is one of those shows, right?
Yeah,
so I am here roughly by myself, shooting by myself. There's a couple of pieces that I've grabbed. I have 3 sets of mics. I've got one from Shure, one from Sennheiser, and one from DJI, right? And I leverage them in different areas.
Yeah.
And I've got a little device that it leverages the screen sharing technology that's available in iPhones and Samsungs, right? And it's fantastic because then I don't have to shoot myself, stop, come back, and see where I'm framed, basically. I can stream to this thing, and it's about the size of a deck of cards, right?
Yeah.
And really simple technology. I think it cost me like $100, but it saves so much time because I can see, oh, I'm not in the shot. I need to do this, or I need to, walk to the left or whatever.
Yeah, no, I believe that, and like one of the booths I do want to see is Atomos afterwards, because they do a lot of these type of monitors, as you mentioned, that you can even be live streaming to your social networks, and I like that's where I think the disruption of broadcast is going. Like these, you heard the phrase "watch parties" that's going on as of recently. I don't get it. For me, it's like I just want to watch TV. But but it was mentioned at that Shure presentation.
Yeah.
Like the times where we used to pause the TV. Now it's the fact that, like, I know over in Ireland, anyways, that do you want to fast forward your ads? You have to pay us an extra $10 a month or €10 a month, to do this. Or like we're seeing more of the Netflix design type of interfaces where people are trying to go, we can give you your own media platform to host this content.
Yeah.
And you go from our days, like I did pirate radio way back when. I'm sure you did too, Tim.
I actually never did pirate radio.
Oh, he's a good boy.
No. I wasn't smart enough to do it. That's what it was.
You didn't have a Mitchell at the time.
I did not have a Mitchell.
Mitchell was only in diapers at the time.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So, but like how much things have changed and so rapidly in the front.
Well, I will give you a really quick analogy to that. 35 years ago now, I started. That was my introduction to just television and broadcast and media. Right, the church that I went to, we started video production. Right, and you can look this up on Wikipedia or Google it. It was a Sony M7 camera.
Nice.
Okay, it was a 4x3, standard definition camera. It weighed, I swear to you, like 100 pounds. It probably wasn't, but it was very heavy. The camera itself cost $20,000 used.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You and I both have in our pocket a better camera than that
And
thing.
this is it.
Right?
Yeah.
So yes, technology has gotten better. It has gotten cheaper. It has gotten more efficient. And that has done 2 things. It's allowed for the proliferation of more and more media, for more and more ideas to get out there. The downside to that is that the safeguards for quality, the safeguards for other things have disappeared.
Well, this is it. And that brings me on to the next question. Like, I'm sure you've seen in the past, I will say months, we had the Coldplay incident, and then we had one where a kid's baseball cap got taken out of his hand and the baseball team gave them a bag of swag. And then more recently, the Philly Karen, as it's called. Yes. And you just go, do people deserve that absolute slapping? Okay,
Okay, the Coldplay guy, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. He's
okay.
cheating on his wife. There's no discussion there.
Yeah, okay. Well, I had the same conversation with Jen, my wife, and she's like, "You've heard one side of the story," and we technically have. We don't know what's going on with the wife. We don't know what the relationship
We
is.
do not.
Yeah, but and then you go, "Oh, the poor kid.
Yeah.
That person deserves to be fired." But why are we? What gives us the right to judge?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
well, with the exception of the cheating guy, I absolutely
Yeah.
totally judged him. But yeah, I the other two, I'm a little bit with you. I don't know the story.
Yeah.
You know, you're right. You know one side, and you know sometimes two or three, depending on how many camera angles there are. But no, that is part of that crowd mentality, right? Where we all gang up on somebody and beat them up, and you know make them wish they were never born type thing. And that's not healthy, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what political leaning you have. I don't care what, you know, where you're at on that side.
But it just shows we're so overloaded with
Oh, yeah.
content,
We are.
and we're so quick to judge because we, as you mentioned, we either get an audio clip or video with a slightly different audio clip, and we straight away believe.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the AI thing as well. What's been doctored or what not. And then some of the shootings recently in America, and people are saying that like we've seen it like so many cell phones and mobile phones out, but then you try and eliminate yourself from seeing this content. And it was actually late night, couldn't sleep, watching BBC World News, and they were commenting on this as well, that people were seeing the content of the shooting because it was one of those. Now there is a proper definition for this, forgive me, but the live thumbnail that plays automatically was being shown on some of the sites, and then you just go, yes, these are being made probably by AI, but shouldn't AI be picking up that this content should be flashed and
there's a couple things, and I don't want to go down this road too far. In the United States, there is a DMCA, the Digital Media
Content
Copyright Act,
Copyright.
and part of that, and I could have the actual name of the bill wrong, but I don't think I do. Part of that kind of cordoned off a section of the U.S. internet, which, you know, for better or worse, is a lot of the rest of the world's internet. To say, you know what, if you are a platform provider, you cannot be sued. You cannot be expected to police the content that your users put on there.
Right.
Right.
Okay. I wonder.
And so
I'm
that's a
sure
protection that they have.
Law exists in Europe.
Yeah.
I would have to go.
I would have to say, because if there wasn't, there'd be no Facebook. There'd be no half a dozen other ones, and so that has given Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all all these other platforms the ability to expand, to invite more users, to invite more user-generated content. Now, there are certain limitations to that, and again, there are you can look and see, but there are you don't want to exploit anybody. You don't want anything weird with kids and stuff like that. But for the most part, user-generated content is kind of left there. So back to your question, it's unfortunate, and I actively stayed away from it because I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
But it goes back to a little bit of one of my axioms, I guess is the best way to put that. I have family members that, let's say that they're on different sides of the political spectrum, right?
Okay.
And they will both complain about the bias in the media, right? And the active bias, and to hear some of them say it's a bit conspiratorial, and like, they're a right wing media, and they're doing this because they believe in right wing, and these guys over here are left wing,
and
they,
more evident in America, of course.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with that statement.
Okay.
I have worked in the media. I have been in those newsrooms, right? And I will almost guarantee you, the only party that most organizations care about is the money party.
Yes, yes.
That's all they care about.
Yes.
And I don't mean that to sound evil. They're a for-profit organization. They're a for-profit business. Their job is to get more eyeballs, more ears, and more mind share out of the overall populace than their competitors do. And to do that, they do everything under the sun. The old adage in the news was, if it bleeds, it leads. Well, that still is true.
And yes, that's what we were taught in media. Yeah,
that's still true.
Back in college days, yeah, it is still true.
And the reason it's true is because us big dumb humans are going to go to that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a cart before the horse, and I don't know which is which. Right. I don't know if it's the chicken or the egg here. Right. But I do know that we as humans, we lean into the more sensational. There's a reason clickbait exists.
Yeah.
Because we click on it.
Yeah. And like and how much do we see of clickbait all the time on social media?
And what you just mentioned, that would be a visual version of clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the scary reality. But tell me something. Does America pay a version of a TV license? No. See, and that's where it's different in Ireland. Like, I've been going around this show floor, I've been listening to presentations, I hear the definition of disruption going on. Yeah. And, when you have these watch parties, when you have these type of disruptors, when we have this content overload, there's a time where you say, well, where's the room for a license when we can get all this content? It's going to stream. Now, I know in Ireland that the TV license is supposed to change its definition to, if you own a computer, that's technically because you are streaming content and you could be streaming the national public broadcaster. But you get to a stage where you go, we don't need to watch that content. We can find this content and information elsewhere. And then maybe in an American type of way, you go, there's so much content. Where does it leave the realms of national public radio in? Okay,
so I
that's a difficult one.
Back to my masters really quickly.
Yeah.
I did a study on national networks.
Yeah. Okay.
And now in the States, we have a different way to finance that. Unfortunately, at the time we're recording this, they have cut a lot of that funding.
Yes, they have.
But we don't have a dedicated TV tax to fund that, which is how you guys do it, how the UK does it, how a number of other countries do it. There are two that I point to. One is NRK. One is what is the Japanese one? Anyhow, the Japanese one and the Norway one, and they both said basically the same thing. The national television, the national broadcast, is not inherently to be a market leader. They're not looking for 50% of the viewership, right? They're not trying to make the next blockbuster.
Yeah.
Their point is to tell the stories that are not financially viable.
Yes.
Right?
And don't they create some amazing...
They make some amazing content that, in the grand scheme of content consumption, is not going to get a 20 share, right?
Yeah.
But it's important.
Yeah.
It's important to society. It's important to the culture.
Yeah. And these are the type of broadcasts that, like, you go, this is real creative radio or this is real creative TV. But when we go down the routes of our sports, whether it be American sports, whether it be Premiership football, and the amount of millions of euro and dollars that's in those sports, when you hear about watch parties, when you hear about streams, when you hear about people breaking up content like this, you say this is the real disruptor for the likes of the Sky Sports and so forth, that they can't constantly ask for this subscription model when people want to watch content differently.
Well, they can. And here's the reason why. So I'll give you the press release, the press conference you and I sat in on It's Sure. They mentioned this direct to consumer from the teams themselves, right? And or the leagues. And In the States, I am a huge American football fan, right? My team is the Chicago Bears. They are not very good. That's okay. I get it. Still my team, right? And you compare the NFL's model to, let's say, Major League Baseball, right? Major League Baseball, you can buy an annual package directly from Major League Baseball. It's like $150, $180 a year. I don't know. Let's say it's $200 a year. And you can watch any game, okay? And I believe the only caveat there is if it's on in your local market, you can't watch the local broadcast, but you can watch the opposing team's local broadcast,
Okay.
right? Okay, cool, awesome, great. The NFL is still going through a third party this year and last year. They are going through Google, okay, or
Right.
YouTube.
Okay.
Should the NFL ever decide to do it directly themselves, number one, they could charge the same amount of money and keep it all,
Yes.
right? It's a multi-billion-dollar deal.
Yeah.
But then you could give consumers exactly what they want.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that we're going to, we're going to get rid of DirecTV or the cable company? Not necessarily, because there are some people that, number one, they want the variety of channels,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Or they want the variety of whatever Sky News,
But it should
provides.
be more the fact now, and I think this is where the disruptor will come in. It will be more now in the future of pick and choose what channels you want.
Yeah,
on
and
the
yes and no.
TV guide.
And here's the reason why.
Okay.
Because if you, I have not done this yet because I am afraid to do this. If I added up all the different streaming services that I have and bundle them up together, I'm probably paying as much or more than
Yeah.
I was paying for the cable.
Right. Okay. And by God, in America, you have a lot more selection than what we have. Like on that type of sport thing, like we have the Irish sports GAA Gaelic, right, which is very popular across counties in Ireland, and they have the GAA Go app. And there was a lot of controversy of the fact of like, well, this is our national sport. Shouldn't this be on the national TV station that we're paying the TV license for? So this is where things can get very disruptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. What does the future hold, Tim? What
Good Lord, I have no idea.
We don't know. Too late in the day to actually think
I
that.
don't even know what next year to provide.
Yeah. Well, on that note, with Tim,
Good place to stop.
It's a good place to stop. We thank you for listening to the All Things TechIE podcast. Tim, thank you. Where can people get a hold of you?
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
You don't find on any socials.
Don't find me on. If you're interested in what I write about that has nothing to do with technology, you can find me on LinkedIn.
I think this is a really nice thing that you started doing lately. That it's something outside of the box of technology. Yeah.
Or if you want to listen to podcasts that you have been on and other fantastic education folks, you can go by aviation.tv. That's aviation.tv.
And you can actually find me across nearly all the socials that I try to post on. Sir Justin Dawson, I changed that handle to, you like that.
I do.
So Sir Justin Dawson, the All Things TechIE podcast is on www.allthingstech.ie. From myself and Tim, in the content producing area of Hall 14 of IBC. Thanks for watching. Thanks for viewing. We'll see you soon. We'll be back with more from the All Things TechIE podcast, including all the latest tech and AV news from Dublin and around the world. Don't forget, if you want to see and listen to more of our podcast, visit www.allthingstech.ie. My thanks to Tim Albright for joining us on episode 128 of the All Things TechIE podcast. Stay tuned, loads more to come, loads to talk about, and some travel tips as well. See you soon. Bye-bye.